Live from New York is Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fabulous, fantastic, and slightly stormy Ask Engineer. We're broadcasting live from rainy downtown Manhattan at the watertight Adafruit headquarters. With me is Adabot.
Hello.
It's just me and Adabot tonight. No special guests. But that's cool because we're just chilling.
Vicky's on special assignment.
Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff to show off though. Lots of fun projects. It's not out yet. Tell them what's on tonight's show, Adabot.
Okay, tonight we're going to talk about the show and tell. It was massive and awesome. Some news in the wonderful world of open source hardware. A little quick fun thing that we saw in the Olympic opening. We'll talk about something we got in the mail from MakerBot. Ooh, exciting. Ooh. We'll go through some of the things from Ask an Educator. We've got some forum posts. We've got some posts from Kevin, our engineer. We've got something from Tyler, who's battling his way in the Red Bull Creation Contest. You were on This Week in Tech this week.
Yes.
That was fun. Partfinder Friday, announcement with Atmel and Adafruit and Arduino, exciting things. Some updates in the Adafruit Lego hackerspace, fun thing happened. We've got some updates to our app. People are sending neat stuff in. We got some massive news about the Adafruit learning system, including a bunch of updated tutorials that we're going to be showing, including some improvements, and a new feature we just rolled out right before the show. We've got some Raspberry Pi tutorials. We're going to be talking about a Raspberry Pi product that's getting debuted tonight. Ooh, exciting. We've got some new products, some new OLEDs. We're going to do your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. We're going to have that and more, and a cat, all on Ask an Engineer. Okay, whew.
Okay.
That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff?
Yeah.
All right. First up, let's just do some business here. The code is London. 10% off many things in the Adafruit store. Use the code London, 10% off. Lots of things that we make. Not everything, but most things in the Adafruit store that you probably want. Use it or lose it. All right. Let's go on to the show and tell. Show and tell was massive tonight.
Yeah, we had 6 people show up at the show and tell.
Yeah.
Which is actually like exactly the right amount of people because 6 times 5 minutes is 30 minutes, which is
that is a good amount of time.
Show and tell.
All right.
So yeah, exactly 5 minutes each. So we started off with Alexis.
Yep.
Who had, I don't even remember what it's called. It was like the cooking bot.
The super cooker.
Super cooker, easy cooker. I don't know. It was basically a head-made pressure cooker, dicer, slicer, HTML5 controlled cooking apparatus that like would tell you how to make curry.
It could chop vegetables, pressure cook them.
Probably good for soup.
It had a web server. It could reach out and have a database. There was a smartphone app. As you put ingredients in, it would tell you if you're ready, and then it could go away for 5 hours while your stew cooks.
Yeah. It was pretty intense. And it was in progress. He's been working on it for 3 years.
3 years. It's the type of thing that you would want to take to Mars, to cook your food for you. Like, it needs to be so intense, and I don't have any vegetables there, though, not yet. So.
I think it's cool because he put the dicer inside. That's what I think is funny. That there's like the slicer dish. So it's half Cuisinart, half pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
We're gonna go out of order, but the next one was Ethan. He has he made a giant antenna to keep better track of a high altitude balloon.
He wants to set up a high altitude balloon, but you want to keep track of it. Some people use cell phones, but it sounds like he wants to use this radio module. But the radio module only has like a 50-foot range or something, and he wants more. So he's like, well, we can
50 feet.
We can make an antenna, and we get 50-mile range. Well, I don't know, 50 miles or 5 miles.
It's cool. Anyways, far. This is fun experimentation. I can't wait to see what he's doing. He's using our GPS, our ultimate GPS, and probably the new one that we're going to talk about later, to do some fun data logging and stuff like that. Chris is working on a series of rider projects. There was
there's rider scan,
rider
track.
Yeah, well, the one kept track of horses, and this new one, this rider pool, will change the way people swim forever. So what he's done is he has all these.
Do you think the horses go in the pool?
Horses can go in pools, but not usually. They're usually in lakes.
They love water slides. That's really what they're into.
No, I don't think that's true. So Chris has this great pool system that will fill the water if needed. Yeah. It'll turn on RGB lights, RGB LED lights from Adafruit.
Tell you the temperature.
All sorts of neat things.
How cloudy it is.
Yeah, and I think he used almost one of everything in the store.
It was pretty intense. Even I was like, what's going on there?
And his RiderNet project is going to be in Make soon too.
It was, wasn't it?
I think it's. I need to look at the latest copy of Make, or it's the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
So I want to check that out.
Anyways.
Joshua had got a Raspberry Pi. He had the cobbler in the case, and he's using Ruby to do Pi wiring or wiring Pi to do some really neat LED stuff with some shift price. Really
Yeah.
cool. Lots of people are getting their pies in the mail now, so we're seeing lots of cool projects. And for people who are in Arduino world, they're like, oh, I want to just like convert some of the things I've done before. Really
Yeah.
neat. Harry showed off, who's part of Kipworks, Kip Bradford's project company. Harry showed off this like basically a massive motor shield, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like you designed a motor shield.
Well, this is a stepper driver, not a motor shield. So the motor shield that we did is kind of made for DC motors or steppers and servos. This is actually just for controlling really, really big steppers. Not exactly sure what the big steppers are for, but
Well, it was for larger robotics projects for.
I guess for big arms or something. I
Well,
don't know.
for even like first robots, some of the bigger robots.
3 amp robot.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's
Anyways,
some big
these are really
robots
big
there.
stepper. I don't
Yeah.
think that they use steppers on the robots, but anyways, if you have a 3 amp stepper and you have to use it for something, I thought they would use just big servos with DC motors.
Yeah.
Geared
That's
DC
massive.
motors.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
So he's working on that.
And then Tim, who is kind of becoming, I think, one of the rising stars in biohacking. There's always like once in a while there's a project where someone has an RFID tag or something, but Tim is really he made on a previous show he has the thing that makes you like think better, puts
Yeah.
electro waves, and then this time he has magnets in his finger,
Yeah.
and he has a distance sensor, and he can point it at something and it can
It'll
turn on an
pulse.
electromagnet
Yeah.
to let him know how far something away is when he touches something. So he would be able to tell that is farther away than that just by feeling it in his hand.
Yeah, by using a narrow beam rangefinder, sonar rangefinder,
Yeah.
and then converting that to like a pulse range or pulse trail. I don't know exactly what the transition is to electromagnet, and then with a couple sessions you can train yourself to recognize
Yeah.
that as distance.
Super cool. And he was reporting live from Maker Faire Detroit,
That's right. Just
and he was at
happening right now.
Hackerspace there. So
All good.
very, very cool. So that's the show and tell. I should have these stickers soon. I'm gonna get these stickers and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
keep
send
the
them out to
stickers.
people. I'm gonna see if badges make sense, but text on embroidery doesn't always work out that great. So
No, it's
I'm gonna try it
really
out.
bad, yeah.
Tell everybody how to be on the show and tell, Lady Ada.
Being on the show and tell is really easy. We do it every Saturday night from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 p.m. right before the Ask Engineer. To get added, you have to be in my show and tell circle because I can't make it a public invite. So go to my personal Google Plus page and find the post where I say, hey, post here, and then I'll add you, and then you post there. And then anytime in the future when you want to show up a project, you'll get an invite. So you can just do it now, and then if you ever think you'll show on anything.
Yeah, we're
We've actually had no problems with people showing up and not having projects in a very long time since we've done this.
yeah. Since we have it in the circle, it's worked out really well.
We used to have this hey,
I'm just tuning in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Which is
all right.
okay, but we only have 7, 8 slots, so you can't just
Yeah.
have people show up. It's not fair if people want to show something else.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, I don't know if folks out there watched the opening ceremony of the Olympics, but if you watch it very closely, this was kind of neat. I thought I'm going to show this here if you zoom in. So that's Tim Sir Tim Berners-Lee, and he's the inventor of the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
And they actually had a Next box, and he apparently tweeted from it. I'm still trying to get all the information, and I did a post up on Make on this and also on the Adafruit site. But this is a real Next computer that he used. Someone said that it's the actual one, and it's on loan from the Computer History Museum, wherever it was. And they actually used the real one that he developed the World Wide Web on. But anyways, there was a Next computer there. He tweeted, maybe he used it for that, maybe it was through an iPhone, who knows. But anyways, that was there. They panned to him.
Yeah. That I don't know.
But that's a real Next
It
machine.
definitely a real
Yeah.
Next. Yeah, you can tell the monitor
And so if
Just
that's
looks
true,
like
that's the level of detail that the opening ceremonies
they're really
went into.
nerdy.
Yeah.
The British are the most nerdy.
Yeah.
They're super otaku nerd freaks.
I just like how accurate it was, and if they did that, they had him out there, and they got a Next computer.
Also, do you know Mary Poppins wrote Gopher? Voldemort.
Transfery.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I thought that was really neat. Of course, it was beautiful. I watched the ceremony and all the countries and these torches and all came up for one brief second. You can imagine what world peace is like. I mean, we'll go back to hating each other soon, but for this brief period of time, it was very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, next up, open source hardware news.
There's a summit.
There's a summit coming up.
There's a summit.
The big news for open source hardware of the week is the speaker lineup is announced.
Keynote is Chris Anderson.
Keynote's Chris Anderson, and there's a ton of great talks.
But there's a lot of other good talks, yeah.
There's a lot of really good talks. One of the talks I want to see, Ian Lesnick is going to be talking about USB and USB VID PIDs. That, to me, is pretty interesting because I think that's going to be one of the future interesting issues as everybody starts getting their own IDs for their business, so their stuff is recognized by computers, but in open source, it's basically like dealing with trademarks.
Yeah, it's like licensing.
Yeah,
like
there's
how do you
licensing
deal with,
involved.
You know, it's like a logo. It's like the logo is trademarked, but what if it's on open source hardware? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Can you reproduce it with a logo or without? So you have to figure out these little details.
Yeah, and you know, there's always talk about, well, maybe we should get a community one in the USB org. Like, they don't do that. So it'll be interesting. So that's just one. Every week I'm going to hopefully mention a talk that I think is going to be super interesting. It's at iBeam. It's coming up in September.
Yeah.
Hope to see you all there. Okay, next up. We got an interesting package in the mail from MakerBot. This is really neat.
We were like, what is this cassette tape?
Yeah, we couldn't talk about it until recently, but this is the MakerBot mixtape, and they made a special one just for Adafruit.
Yeah, you want me to show it?
Yeah, let's go to the overhead real quick.
Okay, I'll show this.
And on the overhead, you can see this.
So it looks like a cassette tape, and it came in a cassette tape box and said MakerBot mixtape. But it's not a mixtape. It's actually an MP3 player, and they MakerBotted it. This tape, and they MakerBotted it over it, so like you can't get the MP3 player out. But like from what it looks like, because it's kind of like melty on here, it was probably like this. And they there was a little slot, and they put it in, and then they finished off the top, and so it's completely enclosed. But it looks like a tape, which is kind of neat. And the buttons, you can kind of see, but there's these 3 buttons, and the buttons are where the MP3 player buttons are, and so it says rewind, play, and fast forward.
Yeah, and you can play music, and it also acts as a drive.
And yeah, it's basically like a simple MP3 player. It's got this, the kind of the Apple-y 4-pin audio cable. So when you plug in the audio cable, you can connect it to USB and load it up with tunes, and then when you want to and recharge it, and it's got a little battery inside, and when we're ready to play, you can you put your headphone.
Yeah. And someone asked, does it actually work as a real cassette? No, you can't put it in a cassette player.
It doesn't work in a cassette. There's no magnet stuff, but it does. I mean, it works as an MP3 player.
Yeah. Very cool.
So yeah, and they customized. Oh.
Can we go back?
Yeah, I just wanted to show the last thing. They customized it for us. So they put the Adafruit flower on it.
Yeah.
Nice little end.
Very cool.
So cool.
Okay, moving right along. A couple Ask an Educator posts that came up this week from our real live school teacher that we have blogging, Adam Kemp.
Yes.
He writes on our site every week, and we're very proud of that. I think we're the only electronic site that has a school teacher who's teaching real live kids.
Yes.
And he does these great posts.
I think Parallax has someone.
I don't know if it's a school teacher teaching actual kids in maybe a past school teacher,
I don't know.
but a school teacher who's in the trenches, as they say. Anyways,
they don't kill the kids; they teach them.
Yeah. So how can I use a microcontroller to monitor a
VAWT?
VWatt? And then the next one is, where can I find some materials for our
This one was
project?
a good one.
Yeah, this is great, and there was lots of fantastic
Lots of
resources
comments.
that people put in.
Do read that. Read that one if you're gonna read one post today. Read that one.
Yeah. And then next up, there was a really good post by Kevin Townsend, K-Town, about a Sono's kind of hack to use Legos. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, this is really fun. So Sono is this like 90-year-old Japanese engineer who designed and his company manufactures a pick and place that we use here, and it's this really beautiful and wonderfully made pick and place. And he's always trying to figure out how he can make the pick and place low cost and easier to use. And one of the things that, if you do manufacturing, you know that feeders are the most expensive part. The thing that actually holds the reels and advances the reels is actually very complicated, very expensive, and they break a lot. And so he's trying to experiment with low-cost ways of using the cut tape. And you have to hand advance it, but maybe for like small projects, you don't care, you're sitting there anyways, and you can advance the cut tape. And so this is really cool because to hold the tape in place, he decided to use Lego.
Very clever. Check out the forum post. Kevin had this great overview of how PCBs are made.
Yeah, this is we don't have the images here in the this, but he can show because he's getting this 4-layer board made.
Yeah.
He's making this RF board, and he's just really interested in doing RF stuff. And so he designed this board, and he sent it out to a manufacturer, and the place he gets them made, they will take photos of every step so you can see the process. So check that out on the blog.
Yeah. Next up, we have another post from Ken. Ken was on a roll this week. Eagle quick tips, recent parts.
This is a quick tip. So yeah, this is, I didn't even know about this, but you can, I don't know, was it right click on add part, and we'll show you all the recent parts he has added, so that's kind of neat.
And then next up, Tyler and Justin are folks that work with us.
Yeah.
They're working on the Adafruit learning system, and they were part of the Red Bull creation contest, and you can go vote for them. So they're team 1.2 gigawatts. So go and check out the site. We have it linked on there, and do vote for them. They're Team Adafruit. They used a lot of Adafruit gear. They made this game. It's this underwater submarine thing, and you have to fire torpedoes against each other, but it's all just the self-contained game. Really neat, and then be sure to watch all of the videos that they did and everything. It's really neat. Go Red Bull, kind of involving makers in a good way.
All the entries are really great, though.
Yeah, and the other thing I like is Red Bull is, they're not the center of it. It's not like, make everything with like a Red Bull like
there has
hand.
to be a Red Bull ball.
Yeah, I actually like their hands-off approach. They're just kind of empowering makers to do this, and they're working with hackerspaces. It's actually like,
they've always done really cool, weird, creative stuff. Like they've had a couple things here in New York and in Boston. I remember they did a couple events, and they used to go to like hacker cons a lot. And so this is not unusual.
Okay. Next up, you were on This Week in Tech.
Yeah.
Everybody
with Leo Laporte.
Yeah, you were on with Leo Laporte. And
we've been trying to schedule this for like 2 years. And it was always just really difficult to schedule a time, but then we finally were like, hey, this is a good week. And he was like, yeah, how about you show up on Triangulation, which is one of the tech shows.
It was almost maybe an hour long, right?
It was an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talked about what on the show?
Oh, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Like a mini Ask an Engineer, but it was
kind of like asking you. I showed off some projects. I showed some it's not out yet. I showed off the Learn system.
Yeah.
I talked about what we're up to. I was broadcasting from the auxiliary Adafruit warehouse.
Yeah, so folks want to see our warehouse, you can do that. Okay, great. A lot of people are asking the Twit network to do a maker show, especially after seeing you on there. They want more.
That's cool.
They want more kits, more people building stuff, more everything. So maybe we'll see that soon. Okay, next up, Part Finder Friday was a computational notebook.
Yeah, we were on special assignment, so John Junior stepped up, and he did this Part Finder Friday, which is this computational notebook. I actually have never used these, but special guest on Adafruit, Amanda the Wozniak.
Yeah. She basically exclusively uses these.
She loves these, so yeah if you want to be like Amanda Wozniak, you should pick one of these up. They're available. We don't carry them, but they're available in many places. But like, he has a link to like Amazon also.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, this one is mine. I can take care of this.
Yeah.
We did a partnership with Atmel. So there's this thing called Atmel University, and people can enroll, students can enroll, anybody can enroll, and there's all sorts of classes you can take, all sorts of things you can do with the Atmel products out there. There's a bunch of perks and things, but one of them is you get really good discounts off some of the Adafruit stuff that we stock that has AVR chips.
Yeah, they were like, what do you use AVRs with? And we're like, a lot of things.
So check it out. Arduino's in it. We're in it. They worked with us closely, and we're really excited. It's just one of the many educational efforts that we try to do to get more people learning electronics. So that was fun. Big news in the world of Lego. Speaking of Lego, from before, you hit 2,000 votes.
Yeah, and we flew past it. We're up to nearly 2,100 votes. So
yeah.
We're 1/5 of the way there.
Yeah, so if we get to 10,000, Lego will seriously consider, or basically make, a Lego hackerspace that has all the things that Lady Ada, a well-known engineer, uses. And that'll be really neat for young kids to have a Lego set that has like a laser cutter, a 3D printer,
Hacko.
Yeah, a Hacko soldering iron.
A cat.
A MOSFET the cat, and a girl with pink hair who does electronics. So if you haven't already, please stop by. Just go to adafruit.com/Lego. They make you
Facebooky Connect.
you don't have to use Facebook Connect, but you have to sign up and make an account, and then just hit support.
I think Facebook's probably the easiest. If you have a Facebook account, that's pretty easy.
So do go and do that, because we're 1/5 the way. This is big. We're on the main page on Lego too. We've popped up. The Apple. There's someone who made a little tiny mini Apple store. I think we passed them. Yay! Or we're getting close. Yeah. All right. So anyways. And speaking of Apple, we have an update to our app that came out last week. This is a photo that a customer sent in, and it's a show and tell feature. So the way it works now is when you use Circuit Playground, our iPhone and iPad app that teaches all sorts of fun things about electronics, cool op-amp calculators, pinout references. I mean, you worked really hard on this with Colin, and it's like it's the best engineering resource for that platform. You can take a photo in the show and tell section, and it comes directly to us. So anything you're working on, you can take a photo and send it right away. Yeah,
it's neat. We've gotten like 3 or 4 already, and we're featuring them on the blog, and hopefully we'll eventually have a gallery where people can show off their projects and talk about them. And we just like how easy this makes it, because it's like photos and videos are the best way to demo something, but it's often like, oh, I have to take a video or a photo and then edit it and post it, put on Flickr and then send a link. But we're hoping to make it like so quick and easy so more people share.
And one thing, because someone just asked about an Adafruit learning app, the learning system is all built for mobile. So in the new version of Circuit Playground, when you click Adafruit Learning System, it takes you into it, and the interface is beautiful. And it's built, there's Retina logos, there's all sorts of, it's built for really good mobile,
iPhone's a little bit small, but iPad it works really well. Because iPhone, it's very hard to read.
But the menu changes based on the screen size. Works great on the new Nexus 7. We have one of those. Works great on iPad and iPhone. Do check it out on a mobile device. That's what it's made for. Speaking of the learning system, I'm going to do a quick mailbag. So every week we have mailbag. This is people send us letters, and we like to post them up.
Okay.
This is from Hugh. Not you, but Hugh.
Hugh.
I just wanted to congratulate you on developing the Adafruit learning system. You always had amazing content in terms of user guides, tutorials, libraries, code, and datasheets. But what you've achieved in the Adafruit learning system, a content delivery environment that is second to none. The interface is clear, intuitive, and visually stunning. The integration of GitHub for active delivery of version-controlled content, excellent PDF delivery, and device-tailored layout are all huge advantages. It's remarkable. It's a remarkable achievement to develop a product of this caliber, one that exceeds any other commercial products available. Whew, that is a compliment. So we sent it to our entire team who's working on this, Daigo, Justin, and Tyler, and it's great. And you've been working on this.
Yes.
And this is really good news, because we're trying to build the best tutorial system in the world, and we think we've cracked it. We think we're on to something.
I think it's good. I like it. It's already 10 times better than anything else.
It's learn.adafruit.com, and we have an update.
Okay, we have an update.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
so the learning system, we're rapidly converting all of our previous tutorials, which you basically hand-coded in HTML.
Yeah, I started
hand-coding, and then we wikified them.
Which is also really kind of awful. And now we have them in this content system, which has XML backend, which is good. And
so we're converting all the tutorials. So every week we post about there's tons. So we did the RGB LED strip. We did
Burgess did that one and this one.
Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Paint Your Dragon, who is Phil, who works with us, has been doing an awesome job at repurposing the tutorials, and they look great. We even added in Nimbus, the friendly Internet of Things cloud. We added the camera tutorial. We added the resistor calculator tutorial. And then Tyler wrote an update. So it was all the new features that we added. So we use Sphinx to do search. It's this really cool open source. So as you start to type something, it has the things you're looking for. We also rolled that out on the Adafruit.com store site.
Yeah.
We also have featured things inside each guide. So if we talk about an OLED screen or a badge, it's on there. And then today, we just rolled out a feedback and correction section. So if you see anything on the left-hand side, just hit feedback and corrections. It comes to us. We're going to fix it right away. And then on Friday, because it was Pi Day, we released...
Was it Friberry or Pi Day?
Yeah, I know, right?
Friberry.
Friberry is sounding good. So, and the other thing we released was how to use sensors. reading sensors with the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, can I talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, we're just going to jump right into Raspberry Pi now.
Okay.
It's Raspberry Pi time because we have a couple new things.
Pi time.
Do you want to just explain just in a couple sentences what Raspberry Pi is and then what you're about to show?
Okay, the Raspberry Pi, which we can hold one up. It's a very small, low-cost embedded Linux computer, and it basically it's about the power of like a cell phone. But it's got some friendly things about it, like it's got built-in Ethernet, it's got USB ports, and it's got TV out, which is really cool because you can use it with like any kind of display. It has HDMI out, and another neat thing about it is it brings out a lot of GPIO pins, including I2C and SPI, and then like 8 plain GPIOs. And so we've been trying to do about one tutorial a week. I mean, there's people already writing tutorials on like how to connect it to a television or like how to install Debian, and that's like great, and I'm glad that people are doing that. I wanted to focus more on tutorials that were more hackery friendly, maker friendly, people who were, they're comfortable learning Linux elsewhere, and then they're more interested in like, okay, well, how do I connect an ADC, or how do I power LEDs, or how can I read buttons? So yeah, we have like 7 tutorials up so far. 4 of them are like hacking tutorials. We started with the neat thing about the Pi is like with the Arduino tutorials that I've done. The first tutorial for like the Arduino is how to blink an LED. But the cool thing about the Raspberry Pi is because it's so powerful. Instead of just blinking an LED, the tutorial is how to blink an LED when you have email.
Yeah.
So stuff that you'd have to pick up like an Ethernet shield and configure it and get a MAC address and like hard code the router and like or whatever, and it's kind of a pain. All that stuff is much easier when you're doing it with the Raspberry Pi. And so like the second tutorial was how, instead of just like how to read a button, which is what we do in Arduino, is like reading the button input, which is already a little bit difficult. This time you can have it be like play an MP3 file through the audio jack when you hit a button. So you can have much more complicated, detailed projects very quickly because instead of like getting an MP3 controller chip, you can just call MPEG-123 the built-in encoder, and it's like a free software encoder or decoder, and it just goes off.
So that's the tutorials released. I popped over to the you can see. I think this is loading up.
Yeah. So this tutorial that we did is for we did it how to connect an ADC on the previous week, and that was a good tutorial because you can use a chip and then you can read any analog inputs just like an Arduino or BeagleBone. But this project I thought was interesting because even though it's not a real-time operating system, you can still do basic RC timing if you have fast enough GPIOs on the Raspberry Pi. And so what we do is we use a fairly big capacitor. We use a 1 microfarad, or you can use up to 100 microfarad. You can use as big as you want. And then by timing how long it takes for it to charge up to 1.4 volts through your sensor resistor, you can do some basic readings of like flex sensor, bend sensor, force sensitive resistor, or photocell, or even a thermistor. Not precise. And it's a little bit, not flaky, but it's jittery because it depends on whether the Pi is doing something in the background. But, like if you just want, if all you have is a capacitor sitting around and you want to get your project up and running, you don't have to go and buy an ADC, a specialized ADC chip. You can just like go for it. So, I like these cute little projects. And of course it's not going to work as great as an Arduino for this real-time timing stuff, but it'll work.
So we were going to do It's Not Out Yet, Don't Ask, but we're just going to just show a product. So we just put this in the store. You can sign up for it. It's not out yet.
I'll just hold this up.
Yeah, I have a photo.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're calling this the Pi Platter. You want to go to the overhead? Let's go to the overhead.
Yeah, I can show this off. I mean, it's still in like super beta.
Yeah, still working on this.
We're
But this is
still
a Pi
working this
Platter,
out,
so
but
you can do lots of experimentation.
It's tough because the Pi has no mounting holes, which is kind of annoying, and it's got connections on every side. It's got something going on every single side of it. So it's like we wanted to connect this up with a full-size breadboards, and then you can use wires or cobbler. And these are female, males. These are socket cables, so you can just plug these sockets in to the male header here. We did figure out using these standoffs. This is a Dragon creation, and with enough standoff, you can still connect to it. It goes, the wires go over the breadboard, but this is kind of the best we can do, given that every side has something that you have to connect to. So we decided to just make it as easy as possible to get to the GPIO pins. And we just have to go with a full-size breadboard because you need a lot of space, especially with a cobbler. But so this is the current design with the clips.
Yeah. So good work. It's really great, and we'll have.
And you can put a pie plate on top of it, which we'd like. So you can put something on top of the Raspberry Pi while it's running.
So
that's beta.
Yeah, someone wants to know if we'll eventually sell Raspberry Pis. We'll do something crazy. We're just going to give them away one day. More on that later. Ooh. Isn't that crazy?
It's not out yet, so don't ask.
Yeah, anyways, let me do the code before we get going. Code London, 10% off many things in the Adafruit store. Make sure you stop by before midnight. All right, it's new product time. New song.
New song,
Need a song.
new. It's
All
new.
right, yeah. All right, you wanted to show this thing off, right?
Yeah,
What is this thing?
This is a miniature wireless keyboard, and we actually, this isn't new this week. It's back in stock this week. We had these last week, but then they sold out, or 2 weeks ago, and then we didn't really have a chance to show them off. But we just got a shipment in, so I can show them off. Kate, can you go to the overhead?
Yes, I can go to the overhead.
Okay.
I'll go to the overhead soon.
Okay.
I've gone to the overhead.
Okay, so this is it's a little keyboard, and it is kind of small, but you can kind of control with your thumbs, or you can type, especially if you have small fingers. It's got it's got Control and Alt, and it's nearly a full keyboard, and it's got a little touchpad with left and right buttons. It also has page up and down, which is good for scrolling. And then there's a little wireless. It's not Bluetooth because not everything has Bluetooth. It's a wireless 2.4 gigahertz dongle thing, and the dongle actually it's kind of cute. It fits into the back, so you can store it in the back. And then this is has a built-in lithium-ion battery, and you can recharge it. It comes with a little charging cable. It's just a mini B, and so you can connect it with a mini B. You can kind of see it. And there's an on-off switch. So now it's on. Is it on? Yeah. And then you can type away. And we've been using it with Raspberry Pi as a kind of a handy, don't have to have the cables connected to the Pi. It can be over there type setup. It might be good for like a remote control system, or like if you're using the Pi for like some sort of automation and you don't want to have a keyboard attached at all times. You can have the keyboard remotely, and it works like 10 meters away, 20 meters away.
Okay.
So I just want to show that off.
Okay.
It comes in a nice little baggie too. A little bag comes in it.
Yeah. Has anyone tried this with a beagle bone?
I haven't tried with a beagle bone, but it's really like it shows up just as a keyboard and mouse. So yeah. I am nearly positive it'll work. If you have a beagle bone, you're willing to try it out, please do. And if it doesn't work, just contact us and we'll give you a refund. But I'm positive it'll work.
John asked me if I've mounted this to my arm yet. That is more of a fall or winter thing. It's too hot out to be mounting keyboards.
We don't start attaching or gluing keyboards to ourselves till later on in the year.
So, all right, moving right along. We've got cables, and I'm going to just go to them. Look at these cables.
We have little shorty cables. We got little, they're not 6 inches, they're actually 10 inches altogether because of the connectors add like a couple inches, but the wire is 6 inches long. Yeah. What did you say?
I was trying to point to each one.
Oh, yeah, so we have mini B, micro B, and standard B because, everything's slightly different. So if you're connecting to your Leonardo, you want the micro cable. If you're connecting to your Teensy, you'll want the mini cable. Yeah. And if you're connecting to your Arduino, you'll want the standard USB cable. So they're just slightly shorter. And
we had these specially made to our spec and in Adafruit black.
That's right. We specified this black using Pantone 000000.
That's right. Next up, we've got these cute little readers. These are fantastic.
Yeah, these are cute, but they're also very good, which I kind of like. So this is a really, really small micro USB card reader, and we carry micro SD card reader, and we carry micro SD with SD adapter in the store. I'll show this off. So
I'm going to do the overhead again?
Yeah, I'll have to zoom in.
Overhead again, right?
So we have we like to carry SD cards that are really micro SD and come with an adapter because that way you can use them with anything, because like everything either uses SD or micro SD, and it's just like a mechanical connector, so you can like use either one. And then we actually tried a bunch of readers, and we actually like this one the most. And if you don't have an SD card reader, you can just slide this out, and then the micro SD actually pops into the back of the reader like that. You can kind of see it through, and then it connects. And we tried this with like every computer, and it was like super fast, and it was recognized really easily, and it doesn't use too much power, so it's really good. It has a nice little attacher thingy, so you can connect it to something. I thought this would be really good. So like if you had a data logger project or something, or like a wave shield, and you didn't want to. You wanted to make it so you would be able to read off the data, or you wanted to update the data. You could attach this using a little key, dongle, whatever, to your project really easily. It's pretty fast. We have specs on it, and it's micro SD and SDHC and SDXC. So we actually bought a 64 gig micro SDXC card. So it's like it fits in here, but it's like 64 gigs, which is incredible. And it worked great. It doesn't work under XP because XP doesn't recognize 64 gig flash drive, but it worked under 7, Vista, Linux, Mac.
Someone wanted to know if this will work on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We actually use it to I mean, it just shows up as a hard drive.
Yeah.
Like it works like any other SD card. So it works under any operating system that supports USB mass storage. Yeah. And we've been using this for like a couple weeks now, and
we like them.
It works. Like it's not like I had some SD card readers that were flaky. Like you'd have to unplug and replug them. This one we didn't have any problems like that.
Yeah. Anytime we put something in the store, it goes through the lady at a test, and she's personally, we always have a box of things that don't work, and then we eventually get the one great one, because we don't want to sell stuff to our customers that doesn't work.
And it's not expensive. It's like $6.
Yeah.
So it's like. You can add a reader to your project or keep it around.
Yeah, we did get a 64 gigabyte micro SD card.
I know, because
isn't that weird? You can eat it. Like when it is.
It's interesting. It's like
it's so tiny.
It said on it like supports up to 64 gigs. I was like, you know what? Like I just don't believe it. Like I wanted to make sure, so I bought a 64 gig card, and you can see it in the photos.
Trust but verify. Okay. Next up, we got some more things here. This is exciting. This is one of my favorite new products that.
You like DACs?
Yeah. I like that you.
I don't know if you showed up the overhead because it's really small. It's basically we were looking for a DAC because nothing we carry has analog out, and we actually needed to generate a sine wave. And generating a sine wave is kind of you can do it with PWM, but we were doing some audio testing for a future audio project, which we'll show maybe next week. And to do that, we needed to generate a sine wave, and so we were like, well. We need a DAC, and it couldn't be PWM. It actually had to be true analog output. And so this is a nice little chip for a microchip. It was the smallest, lowest cost DAC we could find. It has 12-bit output, and it's I2C. It works really great, so it'll work with like pretty much any microcontroller. And it's really trivial to use. Like you just write the 12-bit value, and you can save it to EEPROM too. There's an EEPROM inside, and it just works. So it's really easy, and you can set the address pin to any of two pins, to any of two addresses.
Okay. Moving right along. This is my other favorite product that you put in this week. These are so cute, these little displays.
Yeah.
And you did such a good job on it. They look beautiful. They
I
work
love
great.
the OLEDs.
Yeah. Here's some really nice photos of them.
They don't photograph that well.
It's always hard to photograph things that give off their own light source, but you did a good job. They look good.
Yeah.
You want to go to the overhead again?
Yeah, sure. Can you do the overhead?
It's an overhead night. All overhead, all the time. Look at that.
So yeah, this is the display here. I'll reset it. So this is an OLED, and it's 1.3 inches diagonal.
And they're on sale.
We'll be making more. It has 4 mounting holes. And this is actually an interesting design decision because Kevin Townsend and I worked on this one. And even though the display has 8-bit parallel, we decided like nobody really uses the 8-bit parallel interface. And so we decided to, instead of having all the 8 bits available, to just go with SPI and I2C, but then do level shifting. So it's fully level shifted, so you can just pop it in and use it I2C or SPI with your favorite microcontroller. The SPI is like super fast. People have run these on the Arduino like 400 frames a second or something ridiculous. And you can see there's text even.
Someone wants to know, how does this compare to the other OLEDs we have in terms of size?
It's the same. I mean, you can look at the size. We have, I think we have the dimensions up on how big the display is. It's just it's the biggest monochrome OLED that's the same chipset, but it's basically all the same chipset and then different sizes. So we have a smaller one that's 128 by 64, and then we have 2 128 by 32s that are SPI or I2C, and then this is the bigger, big brother that's 128 by 64.
Okay, so quick questions.
But only monochrome.
Back to that DAC. Do we sell that as an SMD part? No.
No, but you can get it from DigiKey or Mauser.
And then someone wanted to know, are those 0805 passives?
Yes, we use 0805 passives.
Okay. Next up, you already asked about the size on that. Will you sell the raw OLED in the future?
We're thinking about it, but they're so hard to use that I think a lot of people just kind of want, most of the customers that we have kind of just want it to be ready to go. We do sell displays raw, but then we often find that it can cause problems because people don't realize it doesn't come on a breakout board, so they get it and they're like, oh shoot, like I need, a Metcal to solder these on, and so we're not sure how we're going to do it. We're going to maybe just keep these breakouts in the store and see whether people ask for the displays.
Here's a question you can answer, because I answer this over email or in the forums or on Google Plus or something.
Yeah.
Why are OLEDs better? One, and I'm going to say it's not always true, so I'll even add this part. Why are they better at smaller sizes than LCDs, for instance?
They're good for low power because they're only each pixel's lit up, and they're also very high contrast. So the black is ultra black because there's no light, there's no backlight.
That's my favorite color, ultra black. I don't know if you know.
And then another thing is, it's hard to see, but they're good at, you can show them from any dimension. Like they're visible from any. The
viewing angle is always nice.
From any viewing angle, they look really good. And they're also very, very crisp because they don't have any bleed. There's no bleeding effect. They're also often very small. Like the OLEDs we have are very small because they're crisp, so they're good for small displays. So when you use big displays, TFTs are cheaper.
Yeah.
OLEDs are more expensive than TFTs, but TFTs don't look good when they're very small. Only OLEDs look good. So like small displays tend to be OLEDs, and as they get past like about 2 or 3 inch diagonals, you'll see TFTs because they're full color and they're cheaper and
SPI, by the way. Someone wants to know?
This does SPI and expertise.
Okay, great. All right.
I'll show the back of this really fast.
I'll show the back of it.
Unless we have an image of the back.
What does OLED stand for?
Organic LED. So on the back.
Light emitting display. Organic light emitting display.
Yeah, diode.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, diode.
Yeah, diode.
Display.
You can see the connector here. It's a 30-pin connector, and then we have regulator and shift circuitry and all that good stuff, and then we have the 5-volt ready icon right here to tell you that you can pretty much just plug and go. So that's our display. So this is the last of the SSD 1306 based displays. We actually have like all of them now. That's good.
Right on. Okay, and that concludes the new products. New products. That was
Not tons of new, but new.
We got stuff going on. We wanted to leave more time for questions and answers because every week we've just been like down to the wire, as they say. And we're going to do this up. One thing I needed to do is check out this fancy graphic that you got. How do you like that?
Is that a new thing in Ustream?
That's a new thing. No, that's a new. Well, no, we're making more graphics.
Why don't you keep this on all the time?
What? Oh well, look, I'm getting used to it. It's very complicated to run the show and talk on the show and do sorts of things. So every time you come up in the beginning, it'll have you and you'll be talking.
Did it say I'm the engineer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm the engineer.
Yeah. I also I need to make some more music. Yeah. Anyways, let's start answering some questions.
Okay, great.
All right. Ask your engineering questions. You can ask about stuff you saw tonight too. Let's do this. And you get your nameplate back. Bonk.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to have a panel mount micro USB cable?
Yes. We will.
All right. This is easy. Someone wants to know yes or no. That's not really.
No.
Yeah. All right.
That's also easy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope these are going to be easy questions. I think tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Let's find out. How to convert parallel to SPI on OLED?
That's not really a question. Maybe there's more words missing.
How do you convert parallel to SPI on OLED?
These OLEDs use SPI and I2C, so you only need like 4 or 5 pins. So I suggest using SPI because it's really fast. And if you're like, I really just have no pins, you can use I2C, which if you use at high speed mode is actually pretty much you can't tell. But it is a little slower than SPI. Well, it doesn't use as many pins as parallel.
Yeah, maybe we'll show more Pi stuff later, but we're going to keep going. So are you going to have a panel mount micro USB connector?
We're not going to have a panel mount micro USB connector. We will have a panel mount micro USB cable.
Okay.
But it's not out yet, so don't ask.
The panel mount RJ45 extension fully wired, so will work with power over Ethernet adapters too?
It should. Yeah, it has all 8 of the pins connected because it doesn't know whether you're using gigabit or not. So you could use it with our PoE cables or your own PoE setup. Should work just fine. But yeah, I think if you look at the images, you can see that they have all 8 wires attached.
Yeah. Someone wants to know, Leno or Letterman. We don't watch TV, so we'll just have to say
Adabot.
None of the above. Has Adafruit ever run into problems with silicone bugs?
I don't think we've ever had a silicon bug that really affected us.
Okay.
But it's always good to read the errata of any, get the latest data sheet and check the errata of every chip you're using because especially microcontrollers, there can be a lot.
Yeah. Next up, how much was that keyboard from before?
We have them in the store and I believe they're $50, the wireless keyboards. They're a little expensive because they're wireless, but...
All right, next up, I'm a programmer and want to get a microcontroller. I'm not sure I might not outgrow an Arduino too quick. What's the best microcontroller to get for someone like me?
An Arduino will go very far with you. By the time you outgrow it, you'll know what you want. I always just an Arduino for any programmers because it's C, C++, so it's really easy for any programmer.
Yeah.
No matter what, any programmer probably has used C or C++, so it's very easy to get.
And then if you want to go crazy, go get a Raspberry Pi because you can program.
But Arduino is more, you get to actually play with the hardware.
Yeah. The BeagleBone is fantastic.
I think BeagleBone's good too, but I would still suggest starting with an Arduino.
Yeah. Next up, I want to move my Arduino microcontroller project to a single chip. What would be an AVR for that?
An Arduino base is based on the Atmega 328P, so you would just buy an Atmega 328P chip, and you could just use it as is. You just need an oscillator and a couple other small components. We even have chips in the store that are pre-programmed with the bootloader, so you don't have to do that if you are not sure how. And then you can use an FTDI cable or FTDI friend, and it's really easy. You just burn it directly to the chip.
Okay, next up, what is your opinion of silver bearing solder?
Silver bearing solder is really good for fine pitch stuff. It's higher temperature, and it's a little more expensive, so it's up to you. But if you're doing fine pitch stuff, I find silver is a little bit easier to use. But it is more expensive because it has silver, and silver prices are very high right now.
Okay. Next up, are there any home repair skill badges? If not, would you make them? I haven't been asked for that. That'd be interesting. We don't have home repair tutorials, so we usually like to have things that have something to do with the types of...
We have a multimedia tutorial and a welding tutorial. I mean, welding is a home repair thing.
We'd like to have a badge for everything, so maybe one day. Yeah. Any good PSP hacks? I haven't had to hack a PSP in a long time.
We haven't hacked any PSPs in a while.
Next up, when is it unnecessary to use a level shifter between 5 and 3.3 volt components?
You don't need to use a level shifter if the data is going out from the 3.3 volt device into the 5 volt device. Because in general, the 3.3 volts is higher than the 2.5, which tends to be the cutoff for what a high signal is. And so if you have a 3.3 volt device output, you can plug that into like a 5 volt device like an Arduino.
Yeah.
And it should work just fine. You do want a level shifter when converting from a 5 volt output to a 3.3 volt input because you don't want to over voltage the 3.3 volt inputs. That's where you would use, I suggest the 74 LVX or LVC 245 or the 4050, which is a little less expensive but a little more annoying to wire up. Also, in some situations with I2C, if you can just keep the pull-ups on the I2C at 3.3 volts, you can use them with 5 volt or master or 5 volt client, as long as there's no way for you to feed a 5 volt signal back in. That's pretty picky. It's very rare that situation comes up.
Okay, it's time to make this in overdrive. We're gonna upclock you. Overclock you. Ready? You have to answer a bunch of questions fast.
I feel upclocked.
Yeah, okay. What's the best Wi-Fi module for Arduino?
There isn't one.
Yeah. Same answer for what's the best Bluetooth module in general. There isn't one.
There's
a lot of work, a lot of innovation that can happen in this space.
The blue gigas are really powerful.
Yeah.
If you just want the most powerful one.
Okay. Next up. Will Adafruit make multi-room Sonos-style speakers kits? If so, I'll buy 8. Okay, thanks.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Is the new LED script with the PWMs have good response so I can imitate, say, blast lighting effect?
Sure, they're very fast.
Okay.
I mean, they're at the megahertz level. I know people are doing large-scale displays with like 60 FPS, so they're fast.
Will you guys carry Ren sauce chips?
We're not really a chip manufacturer distributor. If you want to purchase chips, we suggest going to findchips.com or Octopart and then looking it up and then just going with their distributor. I mean, we don't distribute chips.
Okay, is there a way to replace the SD card slot on the Raspberry Pi with a micro SD slot? Some people don't like the SD card sticks out so much. I thought we posted up a blog post about that.
Yeah,
look on the Raspberry Pi section on Adafruit.
I'm actually kind of surprised they went with an SD and not a micro SD. I guess it was like that, just a little bit cheaper to go with SD. Also, maybe they decided that SD cards were usually cheaper. I'm not exactly sure why they decided to go with SD and why it sticks out so much. This is a bit of an annoyance because it's a lever, and so you're gonna whack it one day and it's gonna just crack the whole thing off.
Yeah.
I think.
Next up, when is a Darlington array preferred over an opto isolator and transistors?
An opto isolator and transistors has nothing to do with a Darlington. They're like totally different things. A Darlington is just a high gain transistor because it's a transistor connected to a transistor. So if you want like extra beta, so double your beta, you can go with well, not double, but exponentialify your beta. You can go with the Darlington. But these days you probably just go with a power MOSFET if you just really want to push a lot of current around. An opto isolator is for when you want to connect, say, a high voltage to a low voltage system, and you want to make sure that you don't have any connection, no ground or voltage connection between the two systems, often used for high voltage stuff, or when you want to isolate it, so it'll give you a true isolation, like usually 1500 volts AC isolation. That's what they're really good for. But that's different than a Darlington. Darlingtons do not give you isolation; they just give you higher gain. Okay,
we'll just do a few more and then we'll go. Are you going to write a library that uses your LED pixels for the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I had it working, but unfortunately it requires some kernel modifications to get the really good throughput, so I have to keep working on it.
Is Bluetooth coming to Adafruit? Yeah, we're working on it. It's just like really hard and complicated, but we're working on it. Next up, can you read what's on a chip at Mega 320p with software WinAVR?
You can read the hex code off of a non-protected chip using something like a USB Teeny ISP. Just use AVR Dude, which is a part of WinAVR, and just read the flash. And then you can open it up in AVR Studio and it will disassemble it, so you can see the assembly code. But it won't convert it into like an Arduino sketch. Like you won't backtrack it all the way. I mean, if you're good with assembly, you can read what's going on and you can maybe like twiddle some bits, and you can simulate it. Yeah. But you won't be able to read like a sketch or a C code. It'll just give you the assembly back if it's not protected.
Can I adjust the brightness of OLEDs?
Some OLEDs, yes. It depends on the driver chip for the OLED. I don't suggest it because OLEDs are pretty much meant to be, run at the brightness they are. So the answer is yes, but the more complicated answer is it depends on the driver, how the driver works, how they set it up, and often you won't get very good performance from it if you do that.
Okay. Someone wants to know, how do you get a kit on our site? In general, right now, make an amazing kit, do amazing documentation. We usually find people, but if you do all that, send us a note. If it's open source, it's always handy too, because we like to help support makers who are doing open source and all that stuff. Question: Pi micro SD is not a full question.
I like it when people ask questions with like full words.
Yeah, we'll write a little tutorial on how to ask
questions. We have to write a tutorial on how to ask questions. Yeah. And this, I think it's part of the texting revolution. Like the kids these days, like they're like,
there's no limit on.
Kate thinks bye.
No, there's no limit on IRC. You guys get more than 140 characters.
Yeah. My favorite is when people just ask voltage, and I'm like, yeah, I love voltage.
Voltage is good. It is good.
Go volts.
When is the new board from MicroBuilder coming?
You should ask MicroBuilder.
No.
I don't know.
We're working on a bunch of boards this
We have
coming.
all sorts of boards coming out. There's like a new board. We had 2 micro builder boards out this week. We had the DAC and the OLED, and the next week we have 2 more, I think.
All right, I think we got through all the questions. Those are all really good questions.
That's a lot of micro building.
Yeah. Oh, someone says. Wait a second here. You can, if co-protect bit has not been set, then yes, every year you can read it out. You can dump memory.
That's right. If it's not protected, then you can read it out the hex file.
Someone wants to know what's tonight's discount code. I'm glad you asked. It's London. 10% off many things. This MOSFET eats cat food.
Do you want to do the? It's not. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Let's do a quick. It's not out yet. Don't ask. Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to.
Okay. It's not out yet. Don't ask.
I don't want to be.
We're gonna show you something really quick.
Backseat driver. Well, we had the pie platter.
It's a whiteboard. No. Okay.
So this is the new version of the Ultimate GPS. We've been out for a while because I wanted to update the Ultimate GPS and make it better. So it uses a new, much thinner GPS. Well, I wonder how thin that module is. Still thin, but still the same sensitivity. And this time it has PPS out. So some people were asking for pulse per second output. So when it gets a fix, you can get PPS out for your precision timing needs. And then they've updated this firmware so it works even better at high altitudes. We tested this. We sent up a balloon. Our friend sent up a balloon at high altitudes, and we got some good readings. So we know at least what the highest altitude works at. And also a UFL connector. This module is really neat. You can connect an antenna to it using the UFL connector, and we have UFL adapters, and it will automatically switch to the external antenna. So this makes it even more ultimate than ever. I think it's at max ultimate. Oh, and also there's no solder jumper on the back anymore. There's a diode built in for the battery. So if you don't have the battery connected, you don't have to connect it to the VCC pin. It's much smarter and better. So ultimate. Yeah. So skinny. It's going on a diet. The last one was like this thick. That's this.
Okay.
Skinnier.
All right. We're back. All right, we're going to do the trivia question in a second. There was one last question, then that's it. Someone wanted to know if a design is freely available, but it's non-commercial, is it open source? And the answer is no. The OSI has a definition about open sources, and one of the things about open source is you can build and make money. So this is why Linux is great.
Not to make money, but use it in a commercial setting.
You can use it in a commercial setting.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily believe everything should be open source, and there are differences. Some people have non-commercial; they put non-commercial on something. Some people put an open source license, which means commercial use is allowed. Mm-hmm. It's just different applications, different strokes for different folks, as they say.
Yeah, but the open source hardware definition that the 500 people signed, we agreed that non-commercial is not one of the possible.
Yeah, you can do non-commercial hardware. It's just not called open source.
Yeah, you just call it something else. Just say it's like my awesome publicly documented project.
Call it like open design or something.
Yeah, open design's available.
Yeah. What's the link to that non-commercial license? I don't know what.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
We don't use a non-commercial license, so I don't know any links to non-commercial license.
Let's do the quiz question.
Usually they do Creative Commons, by the way. Okay, it is now time for trivia question. Trivia question. What are the rules?
The rules are, where am I?
Right here.
Hi. I can tell the rules. So if you've, hi, who am I? So if you've won something fabulous from the Adafruit trivia quiz, please don't enter this contest because we want every one of the 500 people watching to win something, and everyone gets a chance. If you're a friend of us, please don't enter because we give you free stuff anyways. Today's prize is an Arduino Leonardo with headers.
Yeah.
Whee! Awesome. And because I have this cable here, I will toss in a short micro USB cable. So you can you just like plug and go. There's nothing stopping you from just going crazy and doing stuff. So what's the question?
Okay, so I'm going to start talking about this here, and we're going to just do this.
You just do this, huh?
Yeah, we're just going to do this. Okay, so this person right here, Brownie Wise, who invented the party plan concept of marketing, developed it for the company founded by this person. So type in the person's name, full name of the person.
What's the name of the company?
The name of the company that Bonnie Wise helped.
No, but what was the name of his company?
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, you don't talk about that?
Yeah, you have to say who. Brownie Weiss is the person who helped this person start the party plan concept.
Party plan concept, that was it.
And it was all the marketing. Oh! Leg K, Earl Tupper is correct. Earl S. Tupper. This is Tupperware's birthday. He had a patent on it. I don't know if you know that. Let me tell you a little bit about Tupper and Tupperware. Yeah. So, Bonnie Wise was the person who told him, hey, we got to do these, like, do it at home. And this is where the Tupperware parties came from.
Yeah.
But Earl was an American inventor who manufactured and introduced Tupperware. In the 30s, he invented this flexible, lightweight material that was used to make plastic gas masks during World War II. Then he was working at DuPont. He got experience. So there was like this black, gross plastic, and he turned it into clear, kind of flexible plastic. So he purified this polyethylene, and it was a waste product from oil refinement, and he turned it into plastic. So together with these innovations, he's basically made Tupperware. And then Bonnie Wise convinced him to do these Tupperware parties going direct instead of selling it in stores. So they had, and that's the public, like, Wikipedia thing and all that stuff. And then, like, of course, like, I always like to do a little bit more research. Yeah. So they had a falling out. And after they had a falling out, she was dismissed from the company. Tupper sold the Tupperware company for $16 million to Rexall. Shortly afterwards, he divorced his wife, gave up his U.S. citizenship to avoid taxes, and bought an island in Costa Rica. In 1984, the year after he died, the patent on Tupperware expired. It's kind of the American dream.
Wait, so the patent expired a year after he died. That's only 17 years.
According to this, yeah, I guess he had in 1984, the year after he died, the patent on Tupperware expired.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he really cashed out.
Yeah, he cashed out, renounced his citizenship, and bought an island in Costa Rica. There's a lot of Tupperware. Buy an island. Yeah. Anyways.
That's cool.
So.
All right. Well. Why don't you invent something so we can buy an island? Get on it.
Because I don't want to renounce my citizenship and move to Costa Rica. I'd rather just hang out in New York. I think it's nicer here. Okay. Anyways.
We can buy an island in New York.
Yeah, we could buy New York maybe. Yeah, one day. Could buy a small piece of it. Okay. That's
it, right?
Yeah, why don't you show the pie platter?
Okay, you get the...
While,
you get the beast.
Oops. And I'm just going to turn all the things here. Look at that.
Yeah, just go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, take the cans off. Okay. No, this came off too.
Don't touch anything.
I'm touching it! Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. So, this is the full-size breadboard. We've got a pie here. And because we didn't want this to flap off, like, I guess Dragon designed it so that the SD card goes to the edge of the acrylic, so you don't have to worry about that. And then it's got some sort of standoff action going on here. It's stood off. And there's empty space, but that's where you put your Ethernet cable, USB.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways,
there's your cat.
It's everyone's favorite time here. It's MOSFET time. There's a meow. Meow? Oh, a little meow. That was kind of like a little cat.
That's cute.
He's black, so it's not the camera.
Can't focus on cat. Too dark.
Alright, yeah.
Go in deep. Keep going. Pull in for the close-up.
He's like an OLED.
No, he's exactly the opposite of OLED.
Alright, there's MOSFET.
He does not emit light.
Okay, so, Leg K, I think, please email support@adafruit.com. You get your Leonardo, and what else did you toss in?
Micro USB cable.
Oh, that's great. In Adafruit Black. That's very good. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Special thanks to George, who's doing all the recording. Our friend John Jr. showed up. Phil Burgess, who showed up. All the people on the show and tell. That was an awesome show and tell. This is a good show. We got some questions tonight. I was looking out. We'll be here next week. Keep in mind, August is coming up very fast. Is our 3-year anniversary. We've been doing these shows for 3 years. We think we counted it. We've done 150 shows. If we were to just do the shows all at once, it'd be 6 and like a quarter days of 24-hour-a-day.
I'd be so tired. I'd go crazy.
Poof, yeah. But we've been doing it for 3 years. And in August, we have a really big surprise that's going to happen on the show. There's like a lot of stuff.
We're going to kill off a character.
No! No! There's only like 3 characters.
Bye, MOSFET.
No,
you have to add drama, right? At the end of the 3rd season, they always kill off a character.
MOSFET, winter is coming. Okay, so...
MOSFET, you're going to go to the other agency, right?
Yeah.
You're going to walk out.
No. All right.
He got an offer.
Okay. So, anyways, the code is London. Everyone, keep. This is going to go for a couple more hours, so use it right away, and we'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much for all the great questions, and thank you everyone who keeps sending us great feedback about the learning system.
Yeah, please try it out tonight.
We're working really hard on making it a great resource, and we really do appreciate it. It's helped out a lot as we've been working on this. And we'll see everybody next week. Here is your moment of Zener.